TikTok, the social media giant with over 170 million users in the United States, has officially gone dark, leaving millions of Americans scrambling for answers. Let's dive into why this happened, what it means for users, and what the future holds for TikTok in the US. The root of the issue lies in concerns over national security. TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, is based in Beijing, China. Lawmakers in the US have long worried that ByteDance's ties to the Chinese government could lead to misuse of data collected from American users. Critics claim the app could potentially serve as a tool for propaganda or espionage. In response, a bipartisan law was passed last year requiring ByteDance to sell TikTok's US operations to a non-Chinese entity. The deadline for compliance was January 19, 2025. Without a sale agreement in place, the app was forced to shut down to comply with the law. Adding to the complexity, the US Supreme Court upheld the ban earlier this month, solidifying the need for action. TikTok has expressed frustration, citing a lack of clarity from both the outgoing Biden administration and the incoming Trump administration. President-elect Donald Trump, who will take office on January 20, 2025, has hinted at a potential 90-day extension for ByteDance to divest its US operations. Trump said, "The 90-day extension is something that will be most likely done, because it's appropriate. We have to look at it carefully. It's a very big situation." Trump's stance is a significant reversal from his earlier attempts to ban TikTok during his first term. This shift in tone may be influenced by the platform's massive user base and its role in modern digital culture. Trump himself has previously acknowledged the high engagement his TikTok-related content receives. However, no official extension has been granted yet. Without immediate action, TikTok remains inaccessible in the US. When users try to access TikTok now, they are met with a stark message. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the US. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. This shutdown has caused widespread frustration among creators and users who relied on the platform for entertainment, business, and community building. Many influencers are now exploring alternative platforms like Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and even other Chinese-owned apps like RedNote. For small businesses and creators who relied on TikTok for income, the ban is a severe blow. TikTok's algorithm had been a game-changer for viral content and audience engagement, and replacing that success on other platforms will take time. The next steps for ByteDance are crucial. To comply with the law, ByteDance must sell its US operations to a non-Chinese buyer. However, no concrete offers have been finalized. Analysts estimate that such a sale could cost tens of billions of dollars, making it a challenging proposition. Potential buyers like Oracle and Walmart have previously expressed interest, but negotiations have stalled. The incoming Trump administration may push for swift action, but the timeline is tight, and any sale will require significant legal and financial maneuvering. The TikTok ban has reignited debates over the balance between national security and digital freedom. Critics argue that banning a platform like TikTok infringes on free speech and sets a dangerous precedent. The Supreme Court, however, dismissed these concerns, emphasizing the need to address security risks associated with foreign-owned platforms. Supporters of the ban point to ByteDance's alleged connections with the Chinese government and the potential misuse of American users' data. They argue that safeguarding national interests outweighs the benefits of keeping TikTok operational. The situation remains fluid. Trump's administration could announce a 90-day extension in the coming days, providing ByteDance with more time to finalize a sale. However, if no progress is made, TikTok's US shutdown could become permanent. For users, the focus has shifted to finding alternatives. Platforms like YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels are experiencing a surge in activity as creators migrate their content. At the same time, apps like RedNote are emerging as potential replacements, though concerns over data privacy persist. TikTok CEO Shou Zi Chew has expressed hope for a resolution, emphasizing the platform's value to millions of Americans. He is expected to attend Trump's inauguration, where further discussions about TikTok's future may take place. TikTok's shutdown is more than just a loss of a social media app. It highlights critical issues at the intersection of technology, politics, and national security. The platform's fate will set a precedent for how governments address foreign-owned digital entities in the future. For now, TikTok's US users are left in limbo, waiting to see whether their favorite app will make a comeback or become a casualty of geopolitical tensions. Could TikTok ever be banned in the UK too? Analysts have suggested it is just a matter of time until the US ban on TikTok spreads to allied countries and beyond, as long as the Trump administration presses ahead with it. Incoming President Trump has indicated though that he is opposed to the ban and will find a way to reverse it. If the US ban goes ahead, experts point to the previous ousting of Chinese and Russian tech companies on national security grounds as a potential blueprint for how the TikTok ban might spread around the world. There are big parallels between TikTok and what happened with China's Huawei and Russia's Kaspersky that indicates it's just a matter of time until a creeping ban takes effect, says one of the editor. The same has happened with TikTok. The UK followed almost immediately, and one by one other allies fell into line with restrictions, warnings or bans. It took years, but eventually a countrywide ban took effect last year in the US, but it was all but redundant by then. Kaspersky closed its US operations, followed by its UK offices, saying there is no viable business there. According to research, Kaspersky's decline in usage after the ban was pronounced, not just in the US, but in at least 25 other countries too, even those with no overt public policy to ban the software. Almost the exact same thing happened with Chinese telecoms giant Huawei. The US accused Huawei and other Chinese tech firms of being too close to the Chinese government. It argued that the company's popular 5G kit should not be used to build telecoms in case it could be used to spy on or degrade communications. A former Huawei UK member of staff said that once the US decided to ban, block or restrict Huawei, it became almost inevitable that allies would follow. The UK and others spoke about independently coming to their own conclusions over security, but the US was unrelenting in its lobbying behind closed doors. They warned about the national security risks, which were never backed up by evidence. It usually starts with countries in the Five Eyes alliance. The close-knit intelligence sharing arrangement is between 5 English-speaking democracies, the US, UK, Canada, Australia and New Zealand. So far, all members have banned TikTok from government devices, and some have issued public warnings too. Canada has ordered an end to TikToks. The Five Eyes knock-on effect can be considerable, and restrictions have already spread, with the app banned on devices of government employees, civil servants or military personnel in countries including Austria, Belgium, Estonia, France, the Netherlands, Norway and Taiwan. However, as with everything else to do with TikTok, he says there's a huge caveat in the form of the incoming Trump administration. What we don't yet know is whether TikTok will be the exception, as Trump has said he is opposed to the ban, so will he order allies to replicate a ban? We don't yet know. Trump's position on TikTok has changed dramatically since his first presidency, when he tried to get it banned. Since then he has become a supporter, after his re-election campaign gained support through TikTok videos. If their foreign policy agenda is packed, then forcing other allies to follow the ban might fall down the list and allow countries to wait it out. At the moment, there are no plans for a TikTok ban in the UK, a government spokesperson said on Saturday. We engage with all major social media companies to understand their plans for ensuring the security, to ensure they meet the high data protection and cybersecurity standards we expect. Another aspect to consider about TikTok's future post-US ban is whether or not the app can continue to thrive without a US customer base. Any app that loses 170 users would suffer, but US users in particular are valuable for creators, advertisers, and direct spending in TikTok Shop. If the rest of the West follows, it will reduce the money flowing into the company and curtail development of new features, further entrenching the dominance of US platforms like Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts and Snapchat. TikTok is already banned in Pakistan, Afghanistan and India too, a massive market. It has no presence in China because of its sister app Douyin. Kaspersky and Huawei both managed to weather their storms by relying on homegrown customer bases and by pivoting to regions like Africa and the Middle East. So it might be possible for TikTok to build its user bases here. But if the US ban creeps around the world, then the app will likely never be as big as it currently is and may well wither and die a slow death, whilst US incumbents further entrench their dominance.